Good, beautiful gray morning. It is day 4 of TIFF now. It's Sunday, September 10th, and I, because of my tummy hurting, and then because the subway took 10 minutes to get here, I am currently late to the press and industry screening of Dream Scenario with Nick Cage. Sorry, Arno. I am hoping that there's still spots available there, but it started a couple minutes ago, and I am all the way down the street. So let's see if I can make it in. I hope it's in one of the biggest theaters, so I'm not too worried, but gotta run. All right, so I forgot to record earlier, but Dream Scenario, got out of that. That was fantastic. It was so very funny and original, and it was quite similar to like some Charlie Kaufman stuff. It was really just out there. Nick Cage gave an amazing performance, which I absolutely loved. It's maybe the most A24 movie ever. Like everything that you think of that you've seen in A24 movies, it's in this. It has the indie comedy vibes. It's got some of the horror elements. There's a whole bunch of Nick Cage just yelling and being so over-the-top ridiculous. It is truly a wonderful movie, one of my absolute favorites of the festival so far. And then, after that, I was supposed to go to watch The Holdovers, but when Dream Scenario ended, there was an hour and a half until The Holdovers, and I was like, I can get some work done. I don't need to go and wait in line, it's fine. All of the public screenings of The Holdovers have spare tickets right now. So I was like, there must not be that much demand. So I waited, I got lunch, and then 30 minutes before I was like, all right, now I'll go get in line for The Holdovers. It was full. So I will not be seeing The Holdovers today. I'll see it tomorrow instead, but I will see it. I promise I will see it. I'm determined. I'm not gonna leave TIFF without seeing The Holdovers. So instead, I saw Dear Jassi, which is Tarsem Singh's new film. He's famous for doing The Fall and like Mirror Mirror and a bunch of other visually spectacular movies. And Dear Jassi was very much like a Romeo and Juliet type story. It was incredibly sad, very crushing, but beautifully and artfully made. It was about the love story between a Canadian girl and a Punjabi boy, and sort of the tragedy that befalls because her family does not want her to marry someone who is below her caste, someone who is not rich and wealthy, and it's honestly pretty shocking. I did not expect it to go in the directions that it did, but it was such a beautiful story up until it got very, very sad. And like I said, it's beautifully, beautifully artfully made. So that's definitely one that I recommend. But you got to prepare yourself, I think. I don't know if I was prepared for this movie. It's also based on a true story, which I did not know beforehand. Things that I should have researched. But yes, did not get to see The Holdovers, unfortunately. Now, I am just on my way over to the rush line for Daddio, starring Sean Penn, the ultimate Kino man. So, I guess we'll see. Okay, we're now in the rush line for Daddio. I got Sierra here with me.
Hello.
And
oh, your mom's calling.
Oh, I'll call her in a second. We're in the rush line for Daddio, and it's also, there is a pop-up shop over here for Studio Ghibli stuff. So if we don't get into Daddio, we are gonna go and buy some Studio Ghibli merch. All right, we got cut off from the Daddio line. It's fine.
Daddio.
It's not an end of the world that we're not seeing it.
Every time that I'm in a rush line, we don't get in, so it's just me.
It is true. I've had really good luck until now, except for Perfect Days and Anatomy of a Fall.
It's not a perfect day.
Exactly. It's not.
Is this the end?
I think this is the end. This looks like the end. So now we're gonna go buy some Studio Ghibli merch.
No one's walking on the edge. No edge walk. Thank you.
Oh, that's so
Extras down there. Street to They're 22. It's $60.
So we just bought a bunch of stuff from the Studio Ghibli store.
Yes.
Little stuffed animals for your little cousins. So cute. Oh,
And we got a cow supper.
it's so cute. All right, I'm going all the way to the back of the Scotiabank Rush line, around the block. It's all for Lee, so I'm not worried. All right, I just got out from Do Not Expect Too Much from the End of the World. Very well-reviewed Romanian film. It played at the Locarno Film Festival. This one was really surprisingly great. Surprisingly from how I felt at the start. For a while I was just like, what the fuck is this? It starts off saying that this is going to be a conversation between two films, and it keeps intercutting between a film from the 80s, a Romanian film from the 80s, and the current film in which this woman who is an Uber driver as well as a production assistant for a film company, she's just driving around the town doing little menial tasks over the course of a very long day. And she's also recording TikToks that she can post, very, very rude TikToks where she impersonates Andrew Tate. And at first I kind of just felt like I didn't get what was going on with this movie. But at a certain point it kind of really clicked that it was very much this biting satire all about the boring dystopia that we live in, and that we're currently in the end times of capitalism, basically, and the way that workers and human beings are treated as a commodity and basically tossed aside. It's very, it hits hard, but it's also very funny, very satirical, and the way it's shot feels like something that you would see from like 40 years ago in the Criterion Collection. It's a very specific style of filmmaking that you don't see a lot of anymore. I enjoyed it a lot. Would not have expected to say that even an hour into the movie, but now, yeah, good movie. Very, very good. Anyways, now I'm just gonna go grab a bite to eat, and then I'm gonna go and wait in the rush line for Hell of a Summer, which I am so excited for. I will be so sad if I don't get into this movie, because this film is directed by FINN WOLFHARD, obviously, and of course Billy Brick, who is a good friend of mine. And actually why this screening is so important to me is because in my first year of college, so Billy and I and a bunch of my other friends, we went to school in Toronto, and of course, because classes are in the first week of TIFF, I, on my first week of school, invited a bunch of people to go to TIFF with me. And we were gonna see The Disaster Artist, which was a midnight movie, and we camped out there for 8 hours, and Billy was one of the people. So the first time I kind of became friends with Billy was in line for a Midnight Madness movie. And now the first friend of mine, first personal friend that I get to see a movie of at TIFF, a movie that they directed, is Billy. So it's a cool full circle moment, and hopefully I get tickets. I will be so sad if I don't. By the way, peep the Next Goal Wins bus. Should be getting reviews for that one very soon. I'm interested to see what they think, but they are definitely advertising the shit out of it here.
Together for FINN WOLFHARD. About the slasher genre that attracted you, appealed to you.
Well, we both. By the way, that was incredible. That's really crazy. Thank you guys so much. I grew up watching slasher films, and I was a huge fan of the genre, obviously. But weirdly, like comedy, came first. Like teen comedy was the thing that we both bonded over immediately, like when we first met. And then the slasher thing came second, just sort of as a way to kind of.
Yeah, we had both. I had written a scene just as a sketch, which was basically there's a summer camp slasher going around, and there's a kill list that's published, and then they decide it's by who's the hottest, and then there's a character who was really upset that he wasn't at the top of the list. And then I told Finn about it. I was like, I have this idea, it's like not really formed, and Finn was like, dude, I wrote that exact same scene.
Yeah, I wrote the same scene.
And then we thought, you gotta just build something based off of that, and then that's what we
Can you guys believe this was written by actors too? only thinking about their looks? Yeah.
So, I just got out of the Midnight Madness hell of a summer. It was a lot of fun. Just a really silly script. Honestly, it's one of those movies where you can just feel who the people that wrote it are through the script and what their sense of humor is. It really came through. I had such a blast. I was laughing the entire time. It feels like hanging out with a group of friends. It's a hangout movie, but it's also a slasher, which is I think what made it a lot of fun. Definitely one I'd recommend. I just had such a blast. It was great seeing it with a midnight crowd, especially there were so many people who were on the film in the audience who were just having the time of their lives. Yeah, it was a genuine blast. So once again, Subway is closed after midnight, so that means I am rushing to catch a bus. I just want to go home and sleep, man. Midnight Madness is so fun, but it is so not fucking worth it. I'm tired. Fuck. Alright, but anyways, I will see you guys tomorrow.